Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Power Word Crit. I am Corrin, and I am your Dungeon Master for today. With me are four fabulous players, and they are...
Kayla playing Celestine.
Ander playing Wesley.
I'm Ashlyn playing Izzy.
I'm David, and I'm playing Lord Usaka von Pride.
Sweet. And guys, we finished our first arc.
It's so crazy.
So, welcome to Arc 2, everybody. Let's see what you guys do. But just to recap what we did last arc, 4 heroes came to Greenest for different reasons. One came looking for a relative, one came looking for a best friend, one looking for glory, and the other just kind of showed up with gore all over herself. Not really sure what she was doing, but
She
it
was
was
looking
not
for
pretty.
a bath.
Her job.
Yeah, she was looking for a bath. And then, unfortunately, that all went to Avernus and Handbasket, and they were all attacked by the Cult of the Dragon. You managed to save some people, you saved a mill, and you managed to save actually a lot of people within the Temple of Chantea. And you also met a new companion, because unfortunately one of them passed on during that fight. You also met a local who has tentatively joined your party due to a person who died coming to him in a dream. And our bath-searching war cleric battled the champion and almost won.
I think she did win.
Yeah, I think you're selling herself short. She almost killed him.
Let me
and
rephrase
if he
that.
didn't
You
run
almost
away like a
killed him.
pansy.
You're right. I apologize. That was my bad. You definitely
I
won.
don't know. He might have gone down, and then all the wyverns would have attacked. So...
That would have been an unfair duel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's down.
Only Cora knows what he would have done had he won.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So now this just means that our party goal is to meet him again so that Celestine can kill him for real.
Round 2.
Round 2.
Fight!
We'll just have to keep fighting him until you get a critical hit that just kills him.
But this is
before he can run
Criticals
away.
have to kill him.
Yeah, but this is Kayla. She crits. Honestly, Kayla versus Corrin. What did I expect? I mean, I roll terribly. She rolls quits up the wazoo.
Unless it's initiative.
Unless it's initiative, that is true. So, that being said, you guys are currently standing looking at daybreak, and you see that parts of the town are on fire. You see parts of the town is destroyed. At night, you weren't entirely sure how much damage had been done. You didn't expect probably this much. There's lots of people behind you crammed into this little keep, and they all just really want to go home and see what happened. What do you do?
As one of those people, I want to go home and see what happened.
Okay.
So I believe last time we talked, I managed to meet up with my father, and communicating with him and Governor Nighthill, relayed my vision from Agmar Cree and Kurt that I needed to retrieve the Fang of Agmar Cree, a mythical artifact that my family had been declared stewards of such. So he's motivated to go do that, but also wants to go home and check the shop and such. Also, he wants to go find his violin that got left out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
That could
yeah.
have gotten stolen too.
Mhm.
Ooh.
How
Uh-oh.
shiny was it?
It was well polished. It wasn't.
Depends on if the torchlight hit, right?
Yeah.
Is it a golden violin?
No, I'm
Okay,
not well enough off for that.
You don't have to be well off. You just have to win a certain, contest.
When the devil came down to Greenest.
So, that being said, Wesley, you have a chance to go check out your house.
Yeah, I do so.
And you are followed by lots of people. It's kind of chaotic.
Yeah.
Most people are not really talking, and if they are, they're kind of talking in hushed tones. Everyone is exhausted, but they're just kind of overwhelmed by all of the devastation.
So, arriving at the Eldritch Exchange, my parents' shop and home, how destroyed is it?
On a scale of 1 to 20,
Did we do that?
Don't roll a 1.
You don't
it's
say.
it's about a 16.
Oh, so
Meaning
only
that
minor
it's-
damage?
No, that's
Mostly
massive damage.
Oh,
Okay.
dang. Other way.
Windows were broken. It looks like there was a little bit more than looting going on here. You do see maybe some barrels of just knickknacks and stuff, tiny knickknacks.
Mm-hmm.
The floor is covered in trash, and it's a mess.
This is really rough. This is also like, being the oldest. Like, this was going to also be like my
Future.
Inheritance?
just like that. I mean, I've got dreams of you one day becoming a great bard, but the reality in the back of my mind is like, really, it's gonna be here, kind of thing. And so this is really awful in thinking about my family and like our livelihood's gone.
Yeah, go ahead and roll to see if your violin is there.
Right.
If you roll above, we'll say if you roll above a 15, it's there.
All right.
Just a straight D20 roll.
First roll of the night.
Oh, so not investigation?
It's a 13.
Oh no.
You look for quite a while just through the rubble and the devastation. You don't see it. It unfortunately looks like it was taken.
Not surprised.
After searching for quite a bit, you hear just a loud, an audible gasp, and you see your mother standing there. She says, "Wesley? Wesley,
Mom,
is that you?"
I made it up to the keep. Where have you been?
I went up to the north. I went up to the northern farms because it looked like they were coming from the south. And some families took me in and we hid in their basement.
Was it Farmer Jamjar?
Yes, it was Farmer Jamjar. And his
He
6
makes
children.
to him.
Hence why we call him
them?
Farmer Jamjar.
And his 6 children. And there was lots of jam. That's how we got through the
You made
night.
it.
That's how we made it. Peach, cherry. My favorite is Razzle, but that's very rare.
Right. Probably had to break out the good stuff there.
We did. We didn't know how long we were going to survive.
I need to know if this farmer has named his kids after different, like, jams and jellies.
I was waiting to hear
Like-
that. Razzle
Oh,
was the
surely.
youngest.
Surely.
Oh, yes,
I want
definitely.
to know if this is an ongoing thing or is this the beginning? Will his child be Jamjerson?
Oh, yeah.
Son of Jamjar?
Yes, son of Jamjar, right?
I'm writing down Farmer Jamjar and his 6 kids.
Figure we might as well populate.
Just in case it comes up again.
One has to be called Concord.
Yes. The eldest is Concord. And then Peach. And Raspurin. And I don't remember the other 3. They're too young.
Marmalade.
Marmalade. Oh no.
Pepperini.
Oh, yeah.
Well, did you see what? One more.
I'm already dying.
Okay.
And then for some reason, they named the last one Nutella. I don't know why, but they did.
Yeah, I've never understood that.
Neither have I.
Oh, no.
But I'm so glad you're safe.
Isn't
Right,
that from
absolutely.
Om?
I saw Dad at the keep. What about the others? Fezzy and Vinny and Indy. I didn't see them up there.
No. They're still eating the jam.
Oh, good.
You know they're growing boys.
Yeah.
Probably gonna eat Farmer Jamjar out of his whole stash. But I came here to look for you and Max. You said he's in the keep.
Father and I and Erica made it up to the keep. We went to the sanctuary and some heroes came and were able to give us safe passage to the castle.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Did you have you been in our neighborhood? Have you seen?
I only just got here now. I haven't had a chance to check on anyone else.
Okay. Her parents did not survive.
Oh.
That's where I went first, thinking you and Max were there, and I saw them and they were gone. I have not seen her sister. I don't know where she is.
Well, I think we knew that already.
You did, but
Yeah.
she does not know.
I had
that you-
forgotten. Yeah. I'm sorry you had to see that. She did tell me that earlier.
Oh, poor girl.
She's strong though. She
She-
seemed like she was doing okay.
Good. I'm gonna head to the keep. Are you gonna come with me?
Yes. Yeah. There's not much more we can do here.
We might have to stay at Farmer Jamjar's a little bit longer. Our home is not livable right now.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a very good idea. I have something else that I need to do. Father already knows, but I don't know if you've had a chance to look around the shop, but Mother, the Fang is gone.
She just kind of looks at you and takes a step in, takes another step in, and she just wraps her arms around you and she says, "It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're okay. We can get the Fang back, but I can't get you back."
And then sobs crying like, "I'm sorry, Mother." Oh.
It's okay, son.
Inconsolable.
Yeah. We can
By
cut.
Backstreet Boys.
So at that point, do you guys head back up
Yeah.
to the keep? Okay. Izzy, Usurker, and Celestine, what are you guys doing? You saw Wesley just kind of walk away with an en masse group of people.
So Izzy, after taking a moment to just kind of breathe and take in the destruction of the town and still worried about Jaden, she is going to remember the conversation that she had with Kurt. And at the thought of Kurt, she's also going to get more pensive. But she's going to remember how he mentioned that he had a letter about Jaden's ransom. So she is going to go to Kurt's body and see if she can locate through his belongings that note and see if she can find out any more information.
Okay, so you do a search in all of his pockets. You don't quite see a note on him. You do see some scraps of paper that maybe he was writing stuff down, but you're not entirely sure what they are, but there's no ransom note.
Okay. I'm going to grab the random scraps of paper just in case.
I have to find out what these random scraps of paper that were in my pocket.
You're going to have to tell me what they are. I just made it up on spot.
Sure.
Oh,
Shopping list.
Ander,
Yeah, shopping list.
Kurt was an inspiring poet.
Oh, yes.
An aspiring poet he wasn't even aware of.
Trees, trees, trees. I love me some trees. I love
Beautiful.
to cut them down, build things out of them, look at them, walk through them, haul them, throw them. Trees.
Okay. I love it.
So you find that in his pocket. Pretty sure that's not the ransom note.
Just a gut feeling.
Not to think ill of the dead, but Kurt, you really weren't a poet. All right, so not finding a ransom note, I am probably just going to start walking the town.
Yeah, and at this point, you probably don't even know where he was staying, because you know he didn't have all of his stuff on him.
Right.
So he dropped it off somewhere.
So I'm just going to start wandering the town and see if I can find anyone who looks out of place that
Other than us.
was right, other than us, that was supposed to meet Kurt or someone about Jaden, and just see if I can randomly come across it. I guess I'm gonna take a
Trust to
chance.
fate.
I'm
All
going to
right.
pray to Timora.
All right. So you pray to Timora. Go ahead and make a religion check.
Okay. 17.
17, okay.
Izzy, turn around. There he is.
All right, in this case, I'm going to need you to also do an investigation check with advantage because of that
Okay.
wonderful roll. And you're going to do an airport sign check.
Yes.
Drop ransom here check.
Oh my gosh.
All right, with advantage, that's 17.
All right, so you run around town. Well, probably not running. You're walking.
Yeah, I'm
Around-
tired.
Yeah. You guys are at this point you guys are all pushing on exhaustion. You walk around town. Unfortunately, you don't find anybody who looks culty. You don't really find anyone who's waving around a sign saying drop off ransom here. Everyone just looks devastated.
Here there be dragon cultists. Not
Yeah.
bound.
Except,
I feel like they all left.
okay, not bound.
Yeah. However, as you pass, so as you're walking around, I would say you're walking around for about 30 minutes at this point. You're walking around town. It doesn't take that long to really get through town. You're dodging rubble and, broken carts all over the place and fire still being put out. You stop in front of a building and you just get this feeling that Kurt was here. And you kind of hear a whisper, go upstairs.
I'm going to follow that prompting and go to the upstairs. I'm assuming there's still an upstairs to this building. It wasn't completely destroyed
That's the
by a
question.
Go
dragon.
upstairs,
So-
you open the door, and there's just nothing.
Well, the top of the upstairs is now downstairs.
Yeah. Well, thanks,
Now
Timora.
go back downstairs.
It's the front of the house is fine, but the other half of the house is
And then
not.
Timora's just like, I gotcha.
Chaos goddess.
So you actually do walk in. You see that out of all of the buildings, this one surprisingly doesn't have as much damage. However, you do notice that there were big claw marks in this building. So you think that when you were running towards the town, this was the building that the dragon landed on.
Okay.
So, there is an upstairs. Of course, everything looks pretty ransacked at this point. There's really no shiny things anywhere. So if anybody had left their gold or anything, it's gone. So, yeah. But you kind of walk through the rooms until you find a familiar plaid shirt.
It was my spare. I only had one.
You recognize this plaid shirt because this is one of Kurt's older plaid shirts, and it's one of his favorites. Is it spare?
It was
So-
green.
It was green. Yes.
Is Kurt like sailors? He has a spare suit of clothing that he only wears when he's dead.
Aw.
I remember that from Treasure Island.
Oh.
Only wear your spare suit when you're dead.
Right? These sailors all had two sets of clothes: one that they wore and one that they didn't wear until they either got a new set or until they died, in which case they'd be buried in it.
That's really interesting.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't know if that's true or anything, but that was in Treasure Island.
So you do see a familiar green plaid shirt.
I walk into that room and look at the belongings that were left behind by Kurt.
All right. So you look through the belongings. You find his shirt. You find another axe, a spare axe. And you also notice tucked away in one of the dressers, you do find some scraps of paper.
Are these more poems?
Yes, some of them are more poems.
Yes.
Fir trees, pine trees, beaches too.
Oh man, everyone's gonna turn into a poet now.
This one's log, 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 log.
Oh no.
log. Praise log. So you look through them. It's more poetry. It's up for debate if they're good or not.
Right.
But you do find one that has many creases and looks like it was read multiple times. and it's folded.
All right, I unfold it.
This is the ransom note.
Okay.
You do find the ransom note.
Is it in a language I can read?
It's in common, yes.
Okay.
It would be awkward.
It's written in
I
tree.
found the ransom note. It's written in Elvish.
Well, shoot.
Did Kurt speak Elvish? I don't think so.
Oh no. That would have been terrible.
Oh my goodness. So what does the ransom note say?
So the ransom note goes into detail about, we've got your kid. We need this amount of money on this date in this town. And it's very to the point. And the amount of money that they're asking for was a significant amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking like 100,000 gold coins.
Wow.
A significant amount of money.
Man.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
I mean, Jaden's worth it. But not
Nope.
actually worth paying
Nope.
that amount. I'm just saying he's worth that amount. Like,
Oh, okay.
To Izzy.
In general.
to his
in
mother.
general.
and to his mother and his family, But not actually worth paying, kidnappers that amount.
Right. So
They don't deserve any money.
whatever the conversion of 100,000 gold pieces is in today's currency,
I think that's
that's
like
a lot.
$1 million, 10
I think it's
million?
much more than that.
Oh, let's find out.
Quick Google search says
61 million.
Holy cow.
Oh.
ooh, 61 that's how
They're
much they're
they are
asking
literally
for.
requesting
What?
2,000 pounds of gold.
Yes.
They may not have. Oh, you know what happened? A kobold was in charge of writing the notes.
Oh,
He
no.
just sat and was putting down zeros.
It's like, how much?
I mean, it's pretty good penmanship for kobold, but yeah.
Like, hey guys, what should I put for the ransom note? Do 100,000 gold.
I don't know how many zeros that is.
Just keep writing.
Oh no, they were trying to write 100 and it kept going.
I don't think you added enough zeros. So yeah,
Oh.
in today's dollars, 61 million
ish.
ish. By the way, Izzy, what kind of kits do you have? Because I know you have a jeweler's kit.
Yes.
Do you have anything else on you?
No. Double checking.
Okay.
I have a mess kit
Okay.
and thieves' tools
So you can make a mess.
So you can.
and a tinder box.
All right. So you can eat on this paper. You can open it up with your thieves' tools, and you can also burn it.
Okay, I don't want to do any of those things.
None of those sound like good options
No.
here.
Izzy, I'm going to need you to do an intelligence check since nothing really falls under this.
Okay. 18.
Ooh.
18.
Guys.
Okay. 18.
I'd have beat a 20.
So you're reading this, and you're reading it multiple times, and you're kind of blown away by the 100,000 gold pieces.
I'd be
part.
lucky to ever see that accumulated amount in my lifetime.
For reals. But as you kind of get over that shock, you realize that this handwriting is very, very familiar.
Dun dun dun.
Doesn't sound good.
What?
How do I recognize it?
What?
This is Jaden's own handwriting.
Ah!
All right, Usurker and Celestine.
He could have been writing under duress,
So, the sun is rising. I am tired, taking care to stay out of those blinding, painful rays. I cloak myself in my black cape and descend into somewhere darker and more quiet.
As you're walking,
Excuse me, Governor, do you have any coffins?
do you have any soil from Baldur's Gate? I need it immediately. So as you're walking, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Against what?
A grave.
Raise the sun rays?
Yes, against the sun rays. Outrun the sun.
I got a passably average 8.
Oh gosh.
Okay,
Outrun the sun. Do.
so as you're walking, you hear Mr. Vampire! And you were slammed into
Oh gosh.
by a small child, and you get knocked over as this kid wraps his arms around your legs. You made it! Did you save me with that lady?
No.
Oh. Do you need to go find some... The sun's out. Do you need to... Follow me! And
You should follow him. He's gonna take you someplace dark.
He is.
And he holds out his hand. Do you grab it?
No, but I do follow.
Okay, Celestine, you see Sarker get bowled over by a child and is starting to be led away.
I'm just curious where the kid's taking him. I want to see where he's taking him. I'm gonna follow behind.
So Celestine, you're walking behind
I'm just
him.
following, being vastly entertained. I'll take the entertainment where I can get it.
So this kid is just chattering about, thank you so much, Miss Lady, who's following us. Thank you for saving me. And he's still wearing that gray cloak. He doesn't look like that he was drugged like some of the others.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, yeah, and
Oh no, he was one of the captains.
Oh.
he was
Yes.
one of the captives.
But now I'm wondering if maybe there's more to it than that.
He drove the kobolds mad.
Selected for release.
So as he's walking, you see a man come up, and he's like, Kyle, stop messing around with other people. We need to go home. He goes, I know, Daddy, I know. Can they come with us?
Is
And-
this your small boy?
This is my small boy, yes. This
He-
is
he
my son,
has-
Kyle.
He has a vivid imagination.
Oh?
Yes.
He's adorable. I say as
I-
I'm trying not to laugh at the whole
I'm
situation.
just glad that Miss, what is your name? I'm so sorry.
Oh, Miss Peacechild.
Miss Peacechild here saved him. We were so scared. We had no idea where he was, and now he keeps running off. And would you guys like a place to stay? Our house out in the up in the north is very it was not destroyed like the rest of this town.
Is it full of jelly?
This is Farmer Jam Jar.
I don't know. His son's name isn't Jam.
Oh,
His name is Kyle.
okay.
They're neighbors.
They're neighbors.
The neighbor. Okay, that's fair.
I'll look
It's-
at Sarker, but I'm like,
It would be an honor if you would stay with us. It's not that big, but we have many pillows.
So, out of character, does this person recognize Celestine in any way, shape, and form?
He does.
Okay. So he is nice to her despite that.
Yes. He doesn't look like a guard. He just looks like a normal townsperson.
okay.
So what
Cool.
you're saying is he doesn't recognize the chapter she's from.
Either he doesn't
Correct.
recognize or he doesn't care.
Well, yeah, either one. You're not entirely sure at this point. He just said that he would be honored to house you guys. Would you stay with us? Both of you. I assume you two are...
Yes, I would. I am rather exhausted, I will admit. So, a nice place to rest would be quite enjoyable.
How far is this place of yours?
It's about a 10-15 minute walk.
That's not bad.
Well, I believe that our previous residence is probably burned to the ground. So,
Not actually.
oh,
Oh, we probably should swing by the inn and pick up whatever was left. Like bedrolls. Actually, I don't know if you
if
came
you
with
will give us
bedrolls.
directions
Celestine
to
came
your
with bedroll.
place, then we will see if we can make it there.
Oh, of
depending
course,
on
of course.
circumstances.
And he says, just follow this road up until it ends. Keep going until you hit a house. It's the one with the small windmill looking thing on the roof.
Ah, windmills, my favorite. I say I'm going to wander off towards the inn.
Okay.
I'm gonna also head to the inn because I have to pick up all my stuff, which some of that may not be there anymore.
Yep. So you guys make it to the inn. You're surprised. Again, it's not as damaged as you expected. You do see claw marks. Like a couple of the corners are damaged, but the structure itself is fairly intact compared to some of these buildings that you've run into. You do go upstairs, And as you're walking, you see Izzy just staring at a note, something in her hands, a piece of paper.
I'll recognize. Do I see Kurt's shirt?
You do see a plaid shirt.
Okay. So I can probably put pieces together, maybe. But we're gonna assume that I at least can figure out that this was Kurt's room. I'm like, oh, Izzy, everything okay?
Jaden wrote his own ransom note, and I have no idea what this means.
I'm like, that seems a little odd.
I don't.
Was Jaden literate?
Yes, very, very illiterate.
Well, then there's an entirely likelihood that whoever kidnapped him wasn't, and so used him to write the note via enchantment. I'm going to go to my room, and at this point, having said that, and close all the blinds, and make everything extremely dark, and go to sleep.
Okay.
This is just floored. She's like, that makes so much sense.
So, okay, as you two enter your room, anything that was shiny or could burn is gone in your inventory that you left there. If you had like a bedroll, that's still there.
Oh, good.
Clothing is still there, but anything shiny, and if you had any money that you left behind, then that is also gone as well.
Is the tinderbox gone?
Tinderbox would be gone, yes.
Okay. Dang it, I lost my sensor.
Yes, you definitely lost your sensor.
That was probably pretty shiny.
Yes.
So my candles are gone, my sensor's gone, and my tinderbox is gone. I'm gonna have to find another tinderbox and a sensor.
I see
can't
a
just-
shopping trip in our future.
Yeah.
Also, if you
can't just
left...
pick that up.
Yeah, sorry. Also, if you left any weapons, so if there's any weapon you did not pull out during battle, it's also gone.
Except for that spare axe in Kurt's
Yeah.
room.
Except for that axe in Kurt's room. So Izzy, as you look around, you actually notice that that axe is not there anymore.
What? What's with this magic axe?
So you hear a whisper in your voice, or
your
whisper
voice.
in your
I
voice.
whisper to myself. I'm going
Hi.
crazy.
You may recognize this voice. Don't freak out too much. I'm just using your mouth.
No, so
dear.
you actually hear a whisper in your ear that says, "You would recognize that, and I led you here for that." And the voice disappears, and you can be certain that that was either the voice of Timora or like a spokesperson of Timora. Timora heard your prayer.
Izzy is not a very religious person. She is a little terrified by this experience. Because, like, she prays to the gods. She doesn't really expect them to answer. So the fact that Timora answered in such an obvious way, she's like, I need to rethink my life choices, apparently. So the letter is written in Jaden's hand.
Yes.
Does it mention a place to meet and a time?
It mentions a day, it mentions Greenest, and it mentions noon.
Okay. And it's still early morning right now.
Yeah, it's like 6 a.m.
Okay. I'm going to take the note, take all the other scraps of paper, even though Kurt wasn't the best poet. Maybe his family would appreciate it. And going to also take his spare plaid shirt. Going to wonder again what happened to that axe. Just shake my head and walk out of the inn and see if I can find a place to just take a nap for a few hours before I go out at noon to see if I can find this person, or if it was Jaden who wrote it, whether or not he was forced to under duress or whatnot. But just see if I can get any more clues on what happened to him. And if nothing comes out of that, then I'm going to go find the other members that I formed a party with the night before.
Okay. So as you're leaving, you see a mirror that was broken.
Mhm.
As you pass it, you notice, just glancing offhandedly, that there's tears streaming down your face.
I go to wipe my cheek.
You don't feel anything.
I'm a little shaken by this, but I just attribute it to me being super tired and walk out and see if I can find like a home that isn't as torn up or whatever, and see if I could convince someone to let me like sleep in their corner for a few hours, and I'll pay them like a couple silver pieces.
Okay.
As you pass Celestine, she mentions that there's a farmhouse that, or I guess he didn't say farmhouse, a house that is about 10-15 minute walk from here, and they've offered to give us some shelter.
Oh, okay.
Like, I can go with you if you'd like. I'm exhausted. I really need to take a nap.
Do you need help carrying anything?
I look around. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Oh.
Also, the tub is broken.
At least I got
No
my
more
bath.
tub for hot
man, I'm all
baths.
gross again.
Weren't there multiple tubs?
They're all broken.
They're all conveniently broken, but the second floor is fine.
So
Yep.
I
Yes.
feel like the kobolds probably had a vendetta against bathing instruments.
Oh, definitely.
How dare they clean themselves?
Oh no.
These filthy humanoids.
So,
Yes.
Usarker is in a pitch black room going to sleep.
I'm gonna leave him. If he apparently wants to be in that room, I'm like, okay.
I escaped the child again.
That
I
is true,
consider
you did
this
escape
a
the child.
victory.
It's alright, he knows where you are. There are only a few places where he knows you know about.
It's okay. He's diurnal. I can just stay at night.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
That's what you think. I think he was up all night too. So who knows what he is.
All right, so as Izzy and Celestine, you walk past, you manage to make it to the house. You see that the house next door is giving out jars of jam. And
That's very sweet of them.
Interesting.
yeah,
Very sweet of
there's
them.
some people who've come up here. They know Farmer Jam Jar, and he's
They're very
definitely
sweet people.
he's definitely a food prepper, and he has a lot of jam storage.
Just the
preserves.
Preserves.
They're going to form a new militia called the Preservers.
Yes. So he's handing out jam to everybody who's making their way up there. You see Wesley kind of walk in there. But beyond that, you guys are free to take your rest.
Yes, sleep.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm only going to sleep for, how many hours is that? 5 hours? Till noon? So I'm not going to get a long
Mhm.
rest yet.
Are you going to have Celestine come with you?
I'm going to let you know what's going on, but I'm going to say I don't know if someone's actually going to be there, so I'm really more just going to check it out. Try and be like stealthy. And like
Well, if you want, I can stand down the street. Way down the street.
and if I need backup I can call you.
Exactly.
Okay.
I may not be
Miss-
sneaky, but I can be down the street.
Right.
Excuse me, Miss Isidore? Izzy?
Izzy door. You can call me Izzy though.
Izzy, yes. I'm supposed to go with you all.
Yeah.
And
Yes, Kurt told you in your dream. I remember.
Yes. And you seem to be talking about something important to you. What's going on?
So the reason why Kurt and I were here before the cultists attacked, we were supposed to meet someone about a ransom for his cousin and a friend of mine who is apparently abducted by the cultists.
Hmm.
And they're supposed to meet today around noon. I don't know if anyone's actually going to show up because of last night's events, but I can't risk not going and missing an opportunity to see if I can find out what happened or where Jaden is. That's the name of my friend, by the way.
That I gathered as much. But I will gladly lend my hand. In addition to being a stellar musician, more notable to and more useful to you probably is that I have a way with magic.
He's probably sneakier than I am.
I will not say no to any backup.
I will take that as a compliment.
You should.
As I'm walking clink, 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 clink.
I would not be opposed to any extra help. So if there's anything that you can do and are willing to be backup, like, I won't say no to that. It's not until noon, so we still have a few hours. I'm
good.
definitely gonna take a little cat nap.
Yeah, I think we all need a lot of rest. There's a lot of things went down last night.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that before in my life. I don't even know how to process it all.
Gotta say, that was a new experience for me, too. Amazingly.
Meet back up at 11, 10, something like that.
Yeah, about 11:30.
Okay. Pillows. There's pillows.
All the pillows.
They have all the pillows.
I'm going to feel a little bad because we are a little on the dirty side, but at the same time, pillows.
Everybody's dirty.
Everyone's dirty.
Yeah. So 5 hours go by. You guys manage to wake up at 11. You make your way down.
That's probably
Making
not
your way
enough.
downtown.
I get my way. I can heal. I can at least heal. Right?
So that's what a short rest.
It's a
rest?
short
For a
rest.
short rest, yes.
So that counts as short.
Kayla, how tired is Celestine? Because she had that magical funky thing.
Oh, that's true.
But she also took a lot of damage.
I also took a lot of damage.
Right, but that just means you're in pain, not necessarily
Mhm.
sleepy.
I might be a little energized. Or it was like a monster drink.
Ooh.
The
Okay.
high has worn off.
I
You're
used
even more
used my second wind to basically heal up.
Fighter.
Yeah. If you want to consider this a short rest, we'll just call it an extended short rest. You can use hit die as you desire.
Wait. Yes, please.
And Usurker, you're sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
It's dark.
It's sunny outside. I have no reason to be out there in the blinding light.
Mm-hmm.
You really are a vampire.
I mean, I just spent all night awake. I deserve some sleep.
That's true. Izzy just has other pressing matters that she can't afford a full long rest yet.
Yep. So you guys meet up. You make your way down to the city.
Did we meet up with Usurker?
No.
Okay, just
Did Usurker? I don't think
Like,
Usurker gave
There's
any
a do not
indication.
disturb sign on his door. Unless you guys feel the desperate need to have him there. He's asleep.
Nope.
okay.
Izzy's gonna let him sleep.
I would hate to see Usurker in a bad mood.
Mhm.
Oh, you mean he has bad moods?
I assume so.
I thought he just had one mood.
So as you guys
mood.
Yeah, so as you guys make it into town, you see that the guards are moving heavy rubble. There are certain sections of people who were assigned certain things, moving rubble, clearing pathways. There's some guards who are shepherding people off to certain sections of the town that look to be less damaged than the others for places to sleep. And none of the guards look like they have taken a rest at all. They are just going because this is a disaster and they're trying to do the best they can with what they have.
I commend them.
I'll blend in and I'll ask if they would like some help moving rocks.
Do you have your arm covered?
Let's see. I probably spent a little bit of time before I went to sleep sewing at least a little bit of my habit back together.
Okay.
That
You really need quick release
I know. I need
buttons or something.
quick release and
Tear
quick put
away
together.
habits.
You know, someday she's
Well, I
gonna
mean,
get in
my sewing's
contact
not
with
too
somebody
great.
in the entertainment business, and they're gonna have those, tearaway clothing.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Woo.
Tearaway cloaks.
So
Tear
we're
away
gonna go
men's
ahead
habit.
and say yes because I know that people know where I'm from. I know some of them are uncomfortable, but I don't feel the need to make them uncomfortable.
Okay. So you walk up to some of the guards and
So I
they
have half a habit, probably.
have a habit. Got it.
Maybe a cloak. I don't know.
You're Phantom of the Opera-ing this.
Yes.
Cool.
Phantom of the Opera. Sorry.
So you walk up to some of the guards, and none of them seem to really, like, they know who you are, but they don't seem to recognize that you had some sort of patch on your shoulder. And they're like, yeah, we will definitely take your help. And they hand you a few very scribbled, very poorly written pieces of paper and saying, we're trying to get those in the East Wing area who have houses out there into the sanctuary. We've run out of room in the keep. We're trying to get them into maybe the mill if possible. So just whoever you send into certain sections, and he hands you a section for the sanctuary and another, what looks to be kind of a smaller chapel.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a non-denominational. You can basically just walk in there and do whatever you need to do and then walk out, kind of a thing. And they're like, we can only have a certain amount of people. As they keep going, check them off and give them this piece of paper, and that will let them in.
Okay, so this assignment would take me like 10 minutes away from Isabel, right?
No, so you're stationed on, right now at this point, you're stationed on the east side,
Okay.
and you're shepherding people to the west side.
Okay, so I'm just...
So you're
Cross-guard.
you're basically assigning people where they're going.
Okay,
And
cool.
on another tiny little piece of paper, it's kind of like a permission slip, like, yes, I have 3,
Got it.
and they'll give them to the area and saying, I'm supposed to stay here. It's like the best that Governor Nighthill could come up with in such short notice.
Okay, so I'll
So-
go ahead and help move people around, help move rocks as necessary as well, but keep inside of Izzy.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to be too far away from her.
Okay, good. That's what I was worried about.
No.
Hi folks, Ashlyn here with a quick announcement. From everyone here at Powered Crit, we want to thank you for listening and supporting the show. And just like adventurers who sometimes need a little help with fighting the BBEG, we need your help too. By telling your friends about Powered Crit, not only will it give you a DM inspiration, but it'll also help me, you, to level up to 20. So, here's the plan. Between episode releases, each person who tweets about the show and uses the hashtag PowerWordCrit will give you a shout out in an upcoming episode. Thanks, and on with the show.
Wesley, what are you doing?
Do we know where this is going to occur? Like where the ransom is supposed to take place?
Just said Greenest at noon.
Okay.
I was gonna see if I could find like a public square or something. Is there like a tavern nearby that people do like shady dealings? I don't know how any of this stuff works. I've never kidnapped someone before.
If only we had a local.
Yes.
Where do you go for shady dealings?
The shady dealings.
Yeah, Wesley.
Right.
Where's the black market?
Shifty eyes.
I have
what-
wares to sell. I'm just kidding.
So there is the Greenest Inn, which is the respectable place, and then there was the less respectable bar. The
Ramblin' Acorn.
It's the Ramblin' Acorn.
the place where shady people who usually came through and spent their time was probably the Shady Acorn.
The
The
Rambling
Ramblin'
Acorn.
Acorn.
I mean,
Known to
I've heard it
locals.
both ways.
Sorry.
It's got a reputation and a nickname.
Colloquially, we call it the Shady Acorn because of how shady the people there are. Yeah.
So the Ramblin' Acorn Inn, also known as the Shady Acorn Inn to locals. You guys walk in. It's on the northwestern side.
Okay.
Middle northwestern. So your Celestine can still see you guys.
Okay.
You walk in and there are just beds and like pillows and like this place does not look like a shady place anymore. I mean, the floor's still pretty terrible
Mhm.
and it smells
Everyone's
like really
got to pull their
stale
part
beer.
to help the town,
Yeah.
including the shady people.
Including the shady people need a place to sleep too.
They're shady, not evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
No
do
judgments.
see some people sleeping on the floor. You see a couple people behind the bar who's just handing out water. It looks rougher than normal. for a totally different reason.
Okay. And there's no one in here that looks to be out of place or not doing something like what everyone else is doing, kind of thing. Like, I'm assuming there's a lot of people who are
Well, everyone really
taking
looks
the
out
water
of place.
cups or like laying on the beds or doing something to like clean up things or crying.
Both of you go ahead and make an inception check.
Inception check.
Ooh.
Yeah. Make an investigation check.
Let's
Because
just
it
fall
doesn't
asleep
exist
and have a
doesn't
dream
mean it
of
won't
dream.
exist.
How far
Inception.
are you in this dream?
I'm gonna wave to the kind of like hi, but like don't like acknowledge me too much to old Ned, the bartender.
Don't tell my mom you saw me in here.
Old Ned recognizes you, nods his head, and understands. And goes back to doing what barkeeps do, just cleaning that cup, that one glass.
With the same dirty rag.
With the same dirty rag he's been using for 30 years.
Yeah.
So what'd you guys get?
21.
13.
All right.
11.
So, Wesley, everyone looks out of place. Like, the town was ransacked.
Yeah.
Everyone should not be here. And you see, like, respectable people in here, like shop owners. And it's basically just one of the places that was assigned to them to sleep.
Yeah.
Izzy, you don't necessarily see anybody who looks out of place besides everybody. You do notice that this establishment probably lives up to its shady reputation, because you do see, like, just very, very faintly, like, light coming through a crack in the wall. So you think maybe there's, like, a secret room back there. But you don't really see anybody who looks dragon culty or ransomy, or unfortunately just it's nothing.
So, because I saw Wesley acknowledge the bartender,
Mm-hmm.
did you call him by his name?
I didn't say anything
Okay.
to him, no.
Well, I saw you, like, make a gesture at him, so I'm like, okay. Approach the bartender, the barkeep, and say, slide over 2 silver pieces and say, do you know anyone in this establishment that may have information on an abducted person?
You see this human man. He's got brown hair, blue eyes. He's about 6 feet tall. He just kind of looks down at the silver pieces, and he slides them back to you and says, "No, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome."
And going to walk back out. I'm going to see if, because I didn't say it very quietly, so I'm trying to see if anyone reacted to when I said that.
You wait about 5 or 10 minutes. Nobody followed.
Okay. And there's no one outside?
There's tons of people outside.
Yeah.
I know, but
of the ransomy type, nobody really looks at you. Nobody really pays you much attention. I mean, a couple kids look at you and go, "Mom, her skin's blue." But beyond that, nothing much.
Okay.
So after Izzy walks outside,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to walk up to old Ned. Be like, "Hey, Ned.
Hey, Wesley. How's your brothers doing?
Oh, they're doing great. I really appreciate that. I've got a favor to ask.
Yeah?
Is that there's some people who did some really good work here last night. And that lady who just walked in here, she's got a friend who fell afoul of the dragon cult. I mean, we all did, but it seems like he was taken by them. And she's just trying to find him. There was a ransom note that indicated that they were to meet here. Not necessarily here, but like in Greenest. Have you heard anything?
At the mention of Dragon Colt,
Mm-hmm.
you see his hand clench the glass, and the glass breaks just a little bit. It kind of goes, "Dragon Colt, that's who's responsible for this."
Were they not like overtly like obvious about that in their things?
They were not.
Okay.
Huh, I guess they weren't dancing and singing in the streets about that.
Okay. I thought
It
dragon.
may have been one
I
of
know,
those.
I'm
Your
thinking-
mileage may vary.
Yeah.
Sometimes you ran into kobolds shouting about it. Sometimes you just got mugged.
That's true.
You ended up having to. So just a reminder, you found
Yeah.
out in the mill. All of you except Wesley, Kurt was there. You found out in the mill who was responsible for all this. You
Okay.
told
Okay.
Governor Nighthill,
Yeah.
and then ended up capturing a cultist.
Okay, gotcha.
But
Who loudly and proudly proclaimed where he's
Right.
from.
yeah, so at this point,
So yeah,
yeah,
That's-
it's not
that-
public knowledge.
that's
Give it another hour, it will be.
Oh, it will.
Now that you've
Is
told
now.
Ned.
yeah. So yeah, Ned, these heroes, these people who up this town, they captured one of the people who attacked our town, and it was the dragon cult. Those weird people that we hear about, But
He sets the glass down, more like slams it down. A couple of people stir,
Aw, that poor glass.
and this glass is probably done for after this.
Hairline cracks all over.
Hairline cracks all over the place.
It's gonna be sand by the time you're done talking to him.
He says, "Are you telling me that those dragon cultists are real, Wesley? Or is this just some rumor that's going around?"
no, I know it. I've seen it. Whether I actually have or not, this is what I'm saying.
I mean, you saw them when Celestine was fighting them.
Yeah, I heard it from their mouths on the city wall. It was the dragon cult. They're responsible for the destruction of our town, for the destruction of our homes, our livelihoods. Reason why you're hosting beds here and not serving your usual brew. That good acorn swill.
I don't know if swill and good belong in the same sentence. But we'll go with it.
Made of the finest shady acorns.
He kind of gives you a once over, puts the rag down, and he says, "I do not stand for thugs like this." And go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage.
Good at this.
Yay!
Good thing I'm good at this. 15.
Bring your friend back inside.
Thanks, Ned. You've
No
always
problem.
got my back.
Tell your father I say hello, and I will be there on Saturday for the football game that he wanted me to watch with him.
Oh my.
Okay.
Can Ned be the officiator?
Sure.
Okay.
He officiates the game.
Yes. He's the ref.
Sure thing, Ned. And I'm gonna scoot back outside and be like, Izzy.
Yeah. I don't see anyone out here. I don't know if anyone's coming. Is Jaden dead?
So I talked to the barkeep here. He's a friend of mine.
Oh,
And
that's nice.
and he actually gave me my first gig. Believe it or not.
Oh, you do gigs?
Yes. But that's not important.
Oh, okay.
Just come inside. He's got something to say.
Oh, okay. I follow you back in.
What's your name, girl?
My name is Izzy.
Where are you from?
I am from El Terrell.
Follow me. And
Okay.
he looks to the other two that are behind the bar and he says, "Make sure that everyone's taken care of properly." And he opens up where that crack in the wall was. You see him do some sort of hand signal, and the door, and it slowly opens, and he leads you inside. And inside is just like a round table, kind of like a normal like poker room, back room where like secret poker games are happening,
Right.
things like that. There's quite a few chairs. There's like a couch and stuff. And he said when he shuts the door, he goes, "All right, so Facades aside, I do run this establishment, and I do have a reputation to keep.
Okay.
This place is known as, the Shady Acorn Inn. For good reason, and also not good reason. However, I will say that despite the shady dealings that potentially happen here, we do not deal with kidnappers. We do not deal with murder. Sometimes we deal with stolen goods, but not my cup of tea, normally, and I'm not the one who handles those transactions.
That makes sense.
However, I know a guy who is really good at tracking people down, if you need that to happen. Not for death or murder, but can find people.
Okay. Yes, I would be interested in that.
What's this person's name?
His name is Jaden Prazio.
He opens up a drawer and writes something down. Age?
He is about 28 years old.
What's he look like?
So I describe Jaden. He is a human male, about 5'11", has dark short hair, kind of pasty skinned because he likes to stay indoors more than outdoors. He has blue eyes. He has some ink stained fingers because he writes a lot. Think like Milo from Atlantis Lost Empire.
Okay.
So
Got
with
it.
dark hair.
Got
Yeah,
it.
he's very studious.
Does he have glasses?
I'll say he doesn't.
Okay.
Magic user?
No. Not that I know of.
And unfortunately, I do have to ask, if we don't find him alive, is there any identifiers on him to identify who he is?
Like birthmarks?
Yeah.
Preferably-
Tattoos.
Preferably something not shiny.
I will say he has a scar near his left eye that is in the shape of a crescent moon.
Okay. Last known location?
I think it was Greenest, because did we decide that he was in Greenest?
So I think that he was on a traveling between cities for business.
Right.
Furthering the family business.
So I'll say last known location was on the road between Elturel and Greenest.
And his profession?
He is a scholar / businessman in training.
A jewel merchant.
He's
28 and he's in training? When's he gonna
Well-
get started?
He's had a profession change.
Oh, okay.
more like he's going to take over for his dad's business when his dad retires.
Oh, so he's not going to become professional until his dad.
Right. Like
He's
he's the
journeyman.
assistant. He is the assistant shopkeeper, and he was like going to towns to broker deals with the other vendors to gain material so that we could make the jewelry.
So I wonder if Izzy's description of Jaden ends up being tinged in like how his eyes are like blue diamonds and
She might say something like, his eyes are a dreamy blue. I mean, they're blue eyes. And he's got this really cute crescent-shaped scar in his left eye. It's like, that was a really weird time, but he was adorable. I mean,
Yeah,
he's about
scar.
5'11" and
and has a scar. But keep it at that.
Well, this should be enough to go on. I will find a way to keep in touch with Wesley, if that's all right. Is he staying with you? Are you guys...
He is now.
I think so. I think there's something else that we need to do.
All right. Well, I will get on that.
Thank you.
And he folds the letter. He goes over to a candle, and he picks up a match and lights the candle, and then burns the paper into the candle.
Sir, is that?
I thought you were taking that. somewhat.
Okay.
And as you're saying that, it turns the candle actually turns purple, and the paper disappears.
That's neat.
I will.
I approve.
It's part of the theatrics.
I think that's
he
magic.
Just has a really good memory, but he wants people to think it's cool.
I'm gonna lean over to Izzy and be like, "Yep, that's magic."
Okay, that's cool. I don't see it a whole lot in my life. I'm more of a jewelry person.
All right. If you think of anything else, just let me know. Let me know, kid. And I will try and keep in touch any way possible.
Thank you. Let me know. Do I need to compensate you or this tracker?
I owe his family a favor. We'll call this a favor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ned.
You're welcome. Now, get out of my establishment before I have to kick you out.
Yes, sir. And I give him a little salute and run out.
Celestine, you help a lot of people find temporary residence. Izzy and Wesley, you stay for 2 or 3 hours. Nobody looks to be looking for money. You don't really even know what you're looking for.
Right.
The ransom note is just super vague.
I wonder.
Darn it, Jaden. Why can you have left like a clue if you wrote it yourself?
I feel like that's really poor timing on the kidnappers. I mean, did they know that this whole thing was going down like last night?
I don't even know. Maybe it was.
I'll bet Usarker has a theory on it.
Soccer has a theory on everything.
So, Usarker, you get your long rest.
You suck.
I wake up refreshed and ready as the sun sinks below the horizon. It's probably like late morning at
like
this point.
2 or 3:30 in the
Right,
afternoon.
yeah. Well, I mean, if we
Late afternoon.
went till whenever, it's like
Yeah,
12.
6 o'clock
We met
plus
up at
8
11,
hours is
so.
2 p.m.
So I get up and I'm gonna go and find Governor Nighthill.
All right. Usarker, you walk into the keep, you find him. He's still in the keep. He has not slept at all. They've moved a table out into the middle, and he is surrounded by what look to be 3 generals and a couple like colonels. You can tell on their insignia. And
These are all from the town guard.
These are from the town guard, yes. And he has like a map out, and it looks to be a map of the area. And you hear him talking about mobilizing and sending a small group. And at that point, that's all you hear when you walk up. We need to send a small group out. Maybe we can track them. And he kind of rubs his eyes. Oh, Usarker, you're back.
Lord Nighthill, seems like things are going well. Are you about to die on your feet?
Feels like it. What can I do for you?
Well, I've just returned from finally having some rest this night. I look over at one of, the other generals or people and say, make sure this man gets some sleep sometime. Doctor's orders.
They nod. And they all look exhausted as well.
Mm-hmm. As much as it does him good to be heroic, if he passes out and remains unconscious for 2 days, he'll be of no use to anyone. So, are we looking towards retribution? Are we looking towards collecting allies to deal with this army? Are we looking towards asking for aid from one of the other cities?
He looks at the map and he says, at the moment, I just want to know who actually is behind this. If Mondoth wasn't behind it, she's taking orders from someone, who is in charge of this? And he kind of leans back. He says, but we do need help. We need help from a bigger city.
Then let me offer you guidance. I have some knowledge of the inner workings of libraries and halls of knowledge, where things like historical leaders of large and influential cults of the Sword Coast are like to be kept. If I were to find information, I would go somewhere where information flows. Perhaps to one of the largest cities around here. Perhaps to El Terrell. Although if you're looking for the best library, that'd be Candlekeep. That perhaps is a little far off, though. Still, I would suggest El Terrell again, because you don't have too much in the way of protection out here, and that cult is obviously planning more things. At the very minimum, somewhere with an actual military power needs to know. At the maximum, perhaps something can be raised to deal with them. And so I've been thinking about it, and my consideration, which I put before you, good lord, is that you send a delegation to El Terrell in order to request aid, and they can perhaps find who is behind this for you by searching through their knowledge and perusing the networks they have, as well as preparing relief aid for the city and possibly military force in order to hunt down this army.
He sits back and thinks about it for a moment, and he says, I think you're right. First, I would ask Burdusk. Burdusk is closer. It's not quite as far out. Burdusk would be our closest ally. It's about 4.5 days away. I need to send someone. You're right. I need to send someone there. We're such a small town. We don't really have dignitaries who can do this sort of thing.
What about that young lad? He seemed eager to prove himself, and perhaps a bit explosive. But he seemed like he had a good head on his shoulders and possibly a way with words. What was his name? Wesley? Yes, I think that was it.
Yeah, the kid. Give me a day, and I'll think about it. Are you guys heading up to El Terrell? Are you going the way of Burdusk?
I haven't had a chance to communicate with other people, and as far as you guys, we kind of met up in the middle of a violent attack. I am set on pursuing this cult, although it's an army, and armies are best dealt with by other armies, as opposed to lone swordsmen. So, I am looking at options, but I am committed to this, my lord. And so I'm willing to help and assist. I know that they are grieving some of their own dead, the people who were with me. I believe I heard that they said something about being from El Terrell. I'm not sure on all the details. I think I may have heard Baldur's Gate as well.
Maybe. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
That's all right. I don't expect you to. You didn't spend enough time talking with them. Yes, I will leave you to it then and await your decision. In the meantime, if there's anything that I can assist you with, let me know. I'm going to nod to him and to the other assembled militia and leave.
Where are you from, sir?
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
A nice 500 miles from here, more or less.
Do you have connections in Baldur's Gate?
None that would be valuable to you unless you like libraries.
Okay, give me some time and I'll...
Or students of physiognomy.
What?
I may have said it wrong.
Yeah, I know you're not from our town, but... I and the generals kind of look at him, and one of them speaks up and says, I think what he's trying to say is that we need your help. We know you're not from this town, but if you can get a few people to help us maybe go to Burdusk and get some representation on behalf of us, we will give you whatever you need, and we will... we know you had a fallen comrade. I know that's on the way. We can give you horses. We can give you a carriage. Anything that you need.
Horses.
We will have to discuss that, of course, among those who are assembled for it.
Would you be willing to do that for us? And Governor Nighthill he just nods. This poor guy looks so beat up.
He's so hashed. Poor guy.
He's
the mother-in-law and all of this.
His
It's
clothes
too
are
much.
ripped. He's got wounds all over him still from when he got hit by the dragon attack.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, he's just a mess.
Yes, I can talk to them and see if they'd be willing to assist in that.
Thank you, sir.
In the meantime, get to bed. Surely you don't have to be involved specifically in all of this and can get at least an hour or two of sleep.
Yeah, you're right. He looks at you and just kind of weakly salutes. I think I'll take you up on that offer. Send out the group to follow them. See what we can find. And I'm gonna go take a nap.
Good afternoon, I say, and I leave.
All right. Do you guys manage to meet up at the end of the day? I assume you find each other.
Mm-hmm.
Izzy is just dragging. She is so tired. And she's also really disappointed at not being able to get any more clues as to Jaden's whereabouts.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Do we all meet up at the inn?
I think that's a reasonable
Sure.
place.
Yep. The inn or
One of
unless
the
we
few
want to
standing
go.
buildings, I imagine.
Let's go to the jam jar resort.
I mean, that's where he's staying, right? That's where our sorcerer's staying.
Yes.
My family, certainly.
So we can be at Pillow Fort and you can be at Jam Jerry.
Jam jars?
Jam jars. Jam jars.
Hello, Fort.
Pillow Fort.
Pillow fort. Pillow fort.
Gosh.
So as you guys meet up, Usarker, do you tell him about what you talked about
Yes.
with Governor?
I'm going to go through in detail with them and explain the governor's desires. He seems intent on sending scouts, but of course this town lacks anything in the way of scouting professionals or people who can handle themselves in extreme wilderness, being mostly farmers.
Yeah. There's a handful of wilderness trackers and things who come through here. But not many right now.
Sadly, I think our greatest expert in that is no longer with us. We recently had a man named Kurt who could likely have handled himself in that kind of work. Well,
That's what he looked like, yeah.
Speaking of which, have you been haunted again recently?
Not by him, no.
Not by him.
You're a strange man.
In good company, it appears.
Uh-huh.
But
Oh, vampiric one.
I don't know if you were aware of Izzy's quest to find her friend Jaden, but we made some progress on that.
I don't know that I heard this, Isidore. Who is Jaden?
Jaden is Kurt's cousin and my friend. He's the son of Master Prazio, who is the master artisan in my apprenticeship.
And what does he have to do with all of this connection?
He was abducted, apparently, by dragon cultists.
Oh, is he the one who wrote his own ransom note?
Yes, the one that you mentioned as I was reading it and very confused.
But I know somebody here in town who has connections with somebody who might be able to track Jaden down. We made contact with my friend, and he gave Jaden's description out. So we may receive communique in the future about that.
Okay.
All right.
But in the meantime, it'll take a bit of time, probably.
So, I am committed to hunting this cult. It is of interest to me.
It sounds like almost all of us have some sort of connection to this and some reason for going after them.
And so I was interested in forming a more permanent acquaintanceship with the lot of you.
Oh, you're not sick of me yet?
Not yet, Isidore. Your marksmanship has been remarkable.
Oh, thanks.
There is a town by the way north called Bear Dusk. Have you all heard of it?
Yeah, I've played a couple gigs there.
Bear Dusk is an ally of Greenest, apparently, and the town elders, generals, and the like, however they prefer to be referred to, believe that they can request and aid and support. Bear Dusk is on the way to Elturel. I understand that we have a body that wishes to make its way back home.
Well, the body doesn't wish it, but
It doesn't? I don't know. I've been hearing an awful lot from this body recently.
He didn't say anything about that. He did encourage me that I need to pursue my quest in retrieving the artifact.
You mean that thing?
Yeah, that thing that's so incredibly important to my family. The Fang with an F.
This is the Fang that has the vague rumors and prophecies of doom on the behalf of anybody who doesn't keep it safe?
Yeah.
Okay. So how about this? Rather than charging headlong into a military camp, you instead go the opposite direction of that, garner allies among Bear Dusk, receive possibly military aid from them and the surrounding region, and then be properly equipped to handle a horde of cultists.
That sounds like a great idea.
I know it may not be the most direct or heroic thing, but no one's ever accused me of being especially heroic. Well, except for a small child named Timmy.
Timmy or Kyle?
Kyle.
Was it Kyle?
It was Kyle.
Kyle it was, apparently. Sorry, I've been avoiding him.
All throughout the day, all three of you have seen like the kid going, "Where's the vampire? Where's the vampire?"
People are
Oh,
like,
it was
"What?
so tempting.
Vampire?"
It was so tempting to tell him where Usarker was hiding.
He's also got like a gaggle of other children following him
You
around
should
trying
be
to find the vampire.
thankful that Celestine didn't tell on you.
There are probably some really concerned citizens, like, there's a vampire out there.
We already dealt with raiders last night, and now there's a
Now there's a
vampire?
vampire in town.
So that being said,
That's it. I'm moving to Sparta.
Mrs. Celestine, I have not yet heard from you specifically. I believe I have Wesley and Isidore on board with this, but I don't know what you intend.
I have a chapter that's just outside of, or between Elturel and the other.
Burdusk?
Yes, that. And so I would like to give them word as well, and so I need to travel in that direction. I'm also very concerned about what this cult is doing. This seems to be a far more coordinated attack than just a tiny band of whatever they are.
Raiders?
So they are
Raiders
certainly
and
not tiny.
yeah, definitely not tiny, definitely not medium, definitely not large. A little larger than large, possibly.
And they
And with
seem
dragons.
intent on collecting gold and other wealth.
yeah, and
killing
Wesley,
people.
and Wesley, you do know because your father said so that this Greenest was not the only town attacked that night.
Okay.
Oh,
You don't know how many other
right.
towns, but you do know this was not the only
forgot.
one.
Well, did Wesley tell us that?
Yes.
That's true. Okay. So
Whether I did or not, Wesley did.
okay. It came up. So
Wesley told us as we were having our short rest.
Yeah.
Celestine feels the strong need to look more into this because she doesn't want Baldur's Gate to get hit next, and she definitely doesn't want the small town where I think most of her kids actually live in Baldur's Gate, but still, like, if you ever leave Baldur's Gate and go to any of the surrounding towns, they could get hit by this dragon cult because they're going everywhere, apparently. So she is going to look more into it, and even though she was due a bright, we're going to look into it.
As an additional, possibly worthy of reward from Governor Nighthill, he has said that he wants to know who is in charge of this cult and who is commanding these operations, since it was not Fondue, nor was it Lenny, nor was it whoever that dragon-headed thing was.
Fondue.
Madam Mudface?
That one, yes.
Yeah, that would be good to find out. That one may take a little bit more investigation and looking into that cave system over in the south.
I haven't heard of the library at Bear Dusk and don't know how good it is, but I may spend some time there and see if they have any old records of cult leaders and the like.
Do they write that stuff down?
Of course they do.
Celestine will trust you on this one.
In the Sword Coast, cult leaders often make quite the splash. It pays to write them down, especially when they may not be as dead as they claim to be 2,000 years later.
That's fair.
As you guys make your way to the jam jars and the pillow forts, You can separate as you so choose or stick together, whichever you decide.
Mm-hmm.
And as you guys lay your weary heads down for the
Sleep.
night,
Leave?
you all level up to level 3.
Yes.
Yay!
I was afraid you were gonna like spring something on us. I was like, no, I don't want
its
exhaustion.
attack.
Thanks everyone for listening to this episode of Power Word Crit. Be sure to stay tuned for more adventure on powerwordcrit.com or find us on your favorite podcast streaming site. And now, one of our PSs.
Yeah.
I don't even know what your dad's name is.
What's
your dad's
we only call him father.
Quick, name him.
Don't name him a jam or something.
The McElroy brothers are not experts.
Sorry. That was the wrong button.
Well, it's a podcast within a podcast, right?
Podcast.
Sorry.
Done.
Yes.
Copyright. So we were advertising for the McElroys.
Yeah, I'm listening to my brother and me. It's a mess.
There's also
Like, oh,
some
that's
really-
the sign on the
we
door.
there's
approach
some-
and look at the side. That definitely doesn't say shady acorn.
You walk in and everybody's super shady. Everybody is
they're wearing shades.
Oh yeah, they're all wearing shades.
Well,
They're all loners in a corner.
I'll wear my sunglasses.
There probably
In
aren't
the
too
day.
many like.
How did I wind up in the Greenest Inn when this was available?
It's not
wanted
well
reputable.
advertised.
You didn't
Well,
want
not well
dirt.
advertised to tourists, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
You didn't
gotta
want
know
dirt. You
people.
didn't want fleas.
Probably true, actually.